What's up, everybody? Coach Jason, welcome back. So we are concluding the half marathon training series today, and we're going to talk about 5 minutes per mile, okay, which is the 1:05:40. So now you're talking about 2:11 marathon pace. Okay, that is cooking. That's fast. So if you're a coach or an athlete and you have folks at around this level for the half marathon, and you want some more workouts, this is a great video for you. I've already done videos from 8-minute miles all the way down to this one in 30-second increments. They're all in the description below. You also see fully detailed training programs for the half marathon. So you can see how to lay out training or look at a schedule and kind of modify it for your needs or your athlete's needs. Now you're going to have 18 new workouts to incorporate within them. So this is the great thing about this series as well. I've done it for 5K already. I've done it for 10K, and I'm going to be doing it for the marathon after this. So I want to give you as much information as possible, particularly if you're a coach and you just want some more information for your athletes, want some more workouts that you might be able to utilize to help them. Or if you're a runner, you might be self-coach, you need some more options for you that you might find more suitable for your training. Well, here you go. That's the whole point of these. I want to give as much information as I've learned over the past 2 decades plus as a coach and share them with all of you. That's my goal behind this channel. And I've got 200 plus training videos, fully detailed training programs and workouts for the half mile all the way up to the marathon. So take a look at the channel. I've got all different types of stuff. Workouts galore, hills, strength training, flexibility, injury prevention. I'm also a Wharton trained and certified musculoskeletal flexibility therapist, and I've been one for 20 years now. So I speak from experience on that end as well. So, but with that, let's get over here. Let's finish out the series. Okay, we'll talk about 5 minutes per mile, and you could see the progression in workouts from 8 minutes all the way down to 5 minutes. And every 3 videos, you have 6 new workouts. So this is the last of the third one. Okay, well, the third of the final series, I should say. Let's get you here. So the same workouts will apply to 5:30 per mile and 6 minutes per mile, but you'll see how to progress from one to the next. Okay, it gives you good insight. Okay, now let's get to it. Like I said, 5 minutes per mile is 1:05:40 for the half marathon. Again, that's moving. Okay, let's talk about it. First one, 800 meter reps. You've seen it before, and I've done a progression from shorter stuff to longer stuff. This being the longer stuff, or the longest of the shorter stuff. So you're building towards 8 to 10 reps of these 800 meters. So 4 to 5 miles of total running. Not every workout needs to be high volume or high length and reps. You take a 2-minute active recovery, and the focus is doing them between 10K pace equivalent and 5K pace equivalent of 5 minutes per mile for the half. So in this case, you're looking at 224. It's about 447 to 448 per mile for 10K pace, down to 218 per rep, 436 to 437 per mile for 5K pace. Okay, a progression from the 10K pace to the 5K pace. Again, this is a workout you could do several times. You could do it early season, mid season, and late season, and you can even do it where you're doing the first workout at 10K pace. Okay, and then the second workout, a progression between the two, and then the last one, majority of them at 5K pace, but maybe you can only do 8 of them or something like that. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Okay, you could also maintain the same pace each time, but see how well you recover, how much quicker you recover from the workout. It's also a sign of progression. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to track progress and improvement, and those are some of them. So that's the first workout. Workout 2, it's the half marathon pace progression workout. So it's 4 pieces. Every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how long your season is, this is a great way of incorporating goal half marathon pace. So in this case, this workout to me is at 5 minutes per mile, between 5 minutes and 4:55 per mile. Give yourself a little bit of margin for error. Okay? The first time you do it, you do 2 times a 4 kilometer, 2 times 2.5 mile. Okay, you take a 2:30 active recovery. Okay? And you're running them at 5 minutes to 4:55 per mile. So you add it up, that's 8K of running, right? And then 2 to 3 weeks later, you combine the two. You do 8K or 5 miles of total running at the goal half marathon pace. Now you're running 5 minutes at 4:55 to 5 miles at 4:55 to 5 minutes per mile. Okay, that's a meaty workout. It's a tough one. Okay, and 2 to 3 weeks later, you add some volume, but you break it back down into 2 pieces. 2 times 3.5 miles. So it's 7 miles of total running, but in 2 pieces. You take the same 2:30 active recovery, and then 2 to 3 weeks later, you combine them. You're doing 7 miles consecutively at goal half marathon pace. So 7 miles at 4:55 to 5 minutes per mile. Okay, That's a legit workout. But, and I've said this in other videos, you need to know what it feels like to be at the 8-mile mark at goal half marathon pace. Just like in the marathon, you need to know what it feels like to go through 15, 16 miles at goal marathon pace. Important benchmarks. Very important. This kind of helps you get there, but broken up into pieces so that you can incrementally progress towards it instead of trying to do 7 miles consecutively a bunch of times. And I've seen this happen where folks try to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and it doesn't happen. They get frustrated, and it kind of throws them off. So this is a way of avoiding that type of stuff and allowing your body time to adapt to it. Okay? Periodization, adaptation. Okay? Workout 3. This is a pace variation workout. Okay? Well, this is actually a descending workout, but different paces. First one, a 5K at goal half marathon pace. 5 minutes to 4:55 per mile. You take a 4-minute active recovery. Now we drop down to 3K pace. Okay? But you do the same pace, 5 minutes to 4:55 per mile, but you take a 3-minute active recovery afterward. Okay, so now we're at 5 miles of total running, but now we're going to drop down to a 2K with a 2-minute and 30-second active recovery, but now you're doing them at 10K pace, which in this case is 4:48 to 4:46 per mile. So a nice drop in time. And then you finish the workout with a 2 times 1K with a 2-minute recovery at 5K pace, which is 2:51 to 2:52 per rep. Okay? Add it up, 8K, 10K, 12K of running. Okay, a little over 7 miles of running, but now at a progressively faster tempo each time. Okay? That's workout 3. Workout 4 is that 10-mile progression run. Progression runs are huge. Whether we train for 10K, half marathon, doesn't matter. They are huge components of your training. Great way of callousing yourself, building mental toughness and fortitude, allowing your body to adapt to an increasingly intense pace. Because a lot of times, too, in these longer races, for half marathon and marathon, you might be maintaining pace, but it feels like you're running so much faster. So if you can get to the point where, at worst, you're maintaining pace, this is a good workout to kind of help you get there. Because ideally, at the end of the day, if you can get to the point where you can negative split the last component of your half marathon race, that's really good. Really good. And again, some folks might do a warm-up and a cool-down to this. Some folks might do it as a total run. You start at 6:30 and you work your way down to half marathon pace, okay? About 90 seconds slower to race pace. The only reason I like to include a little bit of a cool down afterward is to allow yourself a chance to get the heart rate down and the muscles to calm down after being at race pace towards the end of this. So I would encourage you, even if you don't do a warm-up, do a cool down of a couple of minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. Just let the body cool down a little bit. Let the heart rate come down gradually, okay? You'll feel better the next day as well. That's workout 4. Workout 5. I'm actually going to change this here. My apologies. This should be 2 minutes, not 3. Okay. 5 times 1.5 mile. Yep. 7.5 miles of total running. You take a 2-minute active recovery. Now, in some cases, you might have athletes that need 3 minutes, need 2:30. It depends on how people recover from these workouts. But you see how I've done this. I've done a progression from 3 minutes to 2:30, down now to 2 minutes. Okay. And this is for the fitter, more experienced athletes. I actually had a guy do this, and I mentioned it in my last video. He was about 2 weeks out from a half marathon race, and he averaged 4:53 per mile per this workout, and he wound up running about 4:55s for the half marathon. So it was spot on, pretty accurate in terms of per pace per mile. And that was a winding course too, with a lot of stop and go. So it was pretty accurate. Okay, but 5 times 1.5 mile, you take a 2-minute active recovery. At 5 minutes to 4:55 per mile, pretty much your goal pace or slightly faster. I like to always give a little bit of a margin for error if you can tolerate it, if your athletes can handle it. Okay, the total rep time is 6:15 to 6:10 per rep for the 2K. Actually, excuse me. That's 2K. So here, now we're adding. Okay. That's the 1.5 mile component. Okay, 7:30 down to 7:20 per rep. Okay, that's the total rep for the half, for the 1.5. Excuse me. So, my apologies. I'm glad I caught that. Okay, so again, at 1.5. Correcting it on the fly. Okay, so 5 times 1.5 mile at goal pace. That's where you're at for 2K. This is where you're at for 1.5 miles. All right. And last but not least, the rolling long run. At this point, most of your athletes, at least most of mine, are at about 17, 18 miles for this at this level for a long run. Okay, and again, some of these folks like to transition up for the marathon or like to just run at the half marathon and down, 10K, 5K. 17, 18 miles still a good area for a long run at this level because you're running pretty fast, but you're also building some pretty significant strength here as well. But again, it's easily transitionable upward or downward. And the good thing about a rolling long run, I say this, it's a great way of building strength, okay? Getting used to fluctuating paces, okay? But it also helps prepare you for the flatter races. It makes the flatter running easier. Now the difference, obviously, the rolling long run, you're preparing for fluctuating pace, but if you can do it on softer surfaces, that's a good thing. It also prepares you for, the flat races where you can lock into paces, and that's where these workouts can help you lock into these paces. Workouts like this, or like this. Get used to the paces to help you lock in to make flat running that much easier. I encourage you to take a look at the course you're going to run and determine whether it's rolling, whether it's flat, and design your workouts accordingly based on that. But the rolling long run, especially if you have softer surfaces to train on, which are much more forgiving on the legs, I encourage you to do that as often as you possibly can. It's a great way of building strength, okay? So this is it. This is it right here. And I'm actually glad we fixed that one. So that's my fault. My apologies, but I'm glad we fixed it. I'm glad you were able to do it. So let me know what you think of these. Okay, give me your insight, okay? Give me your feedback in the comments. Share this stuff, all my videos, my channel, with other folks in the running community, athletes, coaches. You'll find a lot of helpful content on there. If there's something I haven't done yet, let me know in the comments. Feel free to reach out to me directly at blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. That's my personal email, and I'm happy to answer questions. That's actually how a lot of people have reached out to me for personalized coaching as well. So I am also a USATF certified coach. My credentials in the bio of this channel, and I'm also a Wharton trained and certified musculoskeletal flexibility therapist too. So I'm speaking from 2 decades plus experience, also being a former competitive athlete and middle distance and distance runner, so I am speaking from experience too. So hope you found this enjoyable. Thanks for watching, and train hard, train smart. Talk to you next time.